All right. Good afternoon and evening. We're getting ready to get started. Division E East matchup between Souls and Slowmo and Icecrown Citadel Knights. Meanwhile, we have the teams going. Take a look at the standings. These are not the most recent. I think this is the one I got from just yesterday before the most recent matches. I think we did have 30 seconds to Mosh with a domination, which moved in up to 19 points on their last game of the season. But for the most part, Icecrown still with 19 points. And Souls and Slowmo rounding out in 4th place. So as we get started with our last match of the night. Well, not the night, but the last match of I'm casting for tonight, at least. Looks like both teams ready. So we'll see. Typically, last games, from my experience, are ones where teams tend to let up, have some fun. And we're going to get started. We'll be going to Infernal Shrines, picked by Icecrown, actually. So we'll go ahead and get started. And we're going to see what kind of picks are going to be coming out. Infernal Shrines, a very strong map for heroes such as Sonya, Hogger, Diva, Diablo. Those are picks or bans we typically tend to see here. And we'll see what Souls and Slowmo decide to do. I have my fan on. Hopefully there isn't a lot of feedback. And we do see... Oh, maybe... There you go. I think it was over. My mic might have been a little bit too loud. That should be probably better. We do see the Dehaka ban coming out. Just from previous matches and what we've seen that has been played often by the Lich Queen. We see the ban on Asmo. Asmo, again, pretty strong on this map. He's able to throw globes on the objective from miles away. So, able to help secure that objective without endangering themselves. Yeah, we see the variant ban coming out on the side of Souls and Slowmo. Yeah, I just got here and raced back from work and then kind of so warm. And so I turned on my fan as I'm trying to figure out what's the best setting so that my fan isn't feedback. But anyways, we see the second ban on Gaslow coming on the side of Icecrown. So who will we see here first? Typically we have a tank or a healer that may be prioritized. Or maybe even an offlaner. Sonya is available, as I mentioned. And we do see the priority going on to the Brightwing. Overall, Brightwing over is really good, able to bring in quite a bit of healing, a global presence. In the first two picks, we have Credit Clown on Mei and Junkrat being played by or selected by Shimpoku right now. And so Junkrat, again, one of those heroes that can have a very strong presence on this map, again, being able to poke from far away. Has traps, makes it life difficult for especially dive-heavy type of heroes. There you go. We see the Sonya. Sonya and Blaze coming through. Two very solid picks for your front line on Infernal Shrines. second round of bans coming through. Let's see what Icecrown decides to ban out. And we see a Gul'dan being banned. Again, this is probably one of Gul'dan's better maps along with Braxis. But again, Braxis is a map that most of us don't recognize exists. So we'll just say this is his best map. We do see the Anduin coming out. And Anduin, again, is a hero that has been highly contested, I think, across all different divisions. But if you look at Division E East, I think it has pretty high participation as far as either being picked or banned. I think it's somewhere in the 90s, if I recall correctly. We do see Kael'thas being picked on the side of Icecrown and Stukov. So you have your tank, your Stukov, and so again, a team that's has very hard to go into, right? May, again, a highly contested tank. So they have a backline that can do a lot of damage from far away for the most part besides Kael'thas, but Junkrat can poke away from a distance. So what will Souls and Slowmo pick to counter that? And we see Greymane and Li Ming. Greymane bringing the ability to do camps, great siege. And Li Ming is a mage you don't see quite often, actually, on Infernal Shrines. Her orbs get less value, and that might be a reason. But if you're able to get into a team fight situation, obviously, great value coming in with a Greymane and a Li Ming. And the final pick coming out for Icecrown is Leoric. And let's see if we see any switches. Doesn't look like we have any right now. But overall, I think both have fairly solid composition for the map. The question is, can Souls and Slowmo get into the back line? Because you can't let that Junkrat, can't let that Kael'thas just, do their damage forever. And so getting into that back line with a Mei and then with a Stukov, potentially with a Disengage, can be challenging. I would say it's pretty even. It really probably come down to who can get a level advantage and impose their will, right? Obviously, when you have a Greymane, if you're a few levels, if you're up a talent, if you're up levels, right, you can do a lot. Whereas if you're down a talent, you're staying in human form quite often. You're not going to be diving. So Souls and Slowmo are going to have to be very opportunistic whenever they have the lead. So we'll get started. We'll start with our Souls and Slowmo. We have Dauntress on the Greymane, Nemesis on Li Ming, Toxic Core on our Blaze, Mimius on Brightwing, and XX Lone Wolf XX. Reminds me of my old WoW characters. On the side of Icecrown, Lich Queen on the Leoric, Credit Cloud on Mei, Way to Go on Stukov, and then we have Korix on Kael'thas, Shoboku on the Junkrat. So as we get the teams doing the traditional mid-map greeting, let's see, right away putting down those traps, and those traps are going to be key. Provide vision, able to provide CC. See a quick clear and rotation down on the side of Icecrown. And they look to rotate, and they're doing a good job. Clear, rotate. Interestingly, we have the Greymane on top. And that's a tough matchup. Greymane's definitely able to poke. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on that. We'll see right away getting started on the camp. On the side of Icecrown. Whereas the 3-man looks to get started on the bottom camp. So right away, Icecrown being able to dictate the pace by getting some early camps. We'll see Souls and Slowmo respond with their camp of their own. We actually see them engage. Got Boot back, it looks like. And they get an early pick on Sonya. Sonya gonna have to be careful. Junkrat again being able to take advantage of those traps and mines. We have Brightwing in the bottom. And again, that's what makes Junkrat very difficult to play against. Especially for the front line. We see a heavy rotation top from the side of Icecrown. And Dondren needing to be careful. Brightwing looking to help, but not able to get there in time. Another pick from the side of Icecrown. And right away we see a half a level lead from the side of Souls and Slowmo. Sonya still at the bottom trying to get some suck. Being careful. We just see 2 early kills. You don't want to give a third, especially before an objective. We see Icecrown picking up their Bruiser camp on top. Pretty good timing on that. Meanwhile, we also have Souls and Slowmo picking up theirs. Now we'll look at the objective. While 2 camps are pushing top, right away, being able to bid in possession is Icecrown. And this will be the battle. Can Souls and Slowmo be able to contest and secure enough of these minions in the objective? And right away, so far we see Icecrown being able to pick up 23 rather quickly, and at this point it looks like Souls and Slowmo are looking to give this up. You see Souls and Slowmo trying to get some value somewhere. Greymane opting to stay up top, which can do quite a bit of work. A Greymane with a Bruiser camp can do a lot of work, especially for an early camp or an early Punisher. We do see the Mortar Punisher, which is one of the weaker ones, being picked up. Jumping in on Sonya, but able to lead it away. Icecrown able to pick up the front wall. And that's something we're going to have to look for. If Stukov is able to get a silence follow-up on that jump from a Punisher, that usually leads to a kill. Now we see the 4-man rotating up to mid and see what they can do there. While we still have that same matchup up top. Greymane and Lich Queen on the Leo. See the teams back off. Figured let's get something done. Icecrown on their siege camp. And Souls and Slowmo matching that as well. But this time we see actually Sonya trying to get the bottom siege camp. It gets scouted out right away. They're marking it, telling the rest of the team we need help here. They see if it looks like they're not going to contest it, often not to kind of challenge that, which is a smart play. If you don't have your team, no reason to try and challenge that. Can I get a shout out, Caster-san? Yes, shout out to OG Tunnel Snake. As we see Leo back off, he's in Wraith Walk to get away. Again, both teams actually being able to stay relatively close at XP. However, with the slight structure advantage, obviously on the side of Icecrown, we see the 4-man rotating up. This time, our Greymane being able to back off. Good job on that part. And then we see them rotate back to mid. begin or return to the dance of mid, bottom, right? We see 10s coming online for both teams, and let's take a look on the side of Souls and Slowmo, First Bullet, Blink Heal, Leap, Disintegrate, and Bunker. And then we have March of the Black King on the side of Icecrown and Leo, Phoenix, Flaming Swipe, Ice Wall, and then Riptire. So that's something that Souls and Slowmo are going to have to be aware of, that the Riptire can do a lot of damage, can help pick up and secure the objective. And so not much can be done by both teams right now. Both are just waiting, stalling it out for the next objective. We do see that now the Bruiser camp is available for Icecrown to immediately rotate. The Predacon providing vision, anchoring. Greymane at top trying to help keep some soak. And here we go again. The second objective, something that Souls and Slowmo might have to be mindful of, is the top camp, and they opt to start their own camp. So again, that's sort of challenging, right? You're giving this team with a Kel'Thas and the Junkrat quite a bit of a lead, allowing them to set up. We see the traps coming through. And as you can see right away, we have a leap coming in to engage. Followed up by Blaze, but that disengage by the Stukov. Very good. Being able to mitigate that engage. We see the silence. However, they're able to use the bunker, get that armor, get the safety. But that Living Bomb, always have to be careful. Both teams are still doing it out, getting kind of low on the side of Souls and Slowmo. All the while, Leo is getting value. So, Souls and Slowmo put in a very difficult position of trying to secure the objective. All the while, it was a 4v5. This whole time, Leo was up top. So that great value. Greymane goes down. A frozen Punisher, obviously the best Punisher. Again, we see Stukov trying to get a silence. And there goes the jump. Oh, if he just waited 1 second to have the silence, but it looks like Blaze still going down. We see Phoenix going on the fort, and Icecrown being able to pick up 2 forts. One with the camp atop with Leo. And oh, they mean. And they get a second fort. So lots of value there. Being able to pick up 2 forts with a frozen Punisher, and right away they move down, be able to pick up that siege camp on the side of Souls and Slowmo, and now they're looking to get value, pushing the bottom fort with a almost 1 level, about a quarter lead, almost half. Souls and Slowmo can't really contest this, and having to give up the bottom fort. So ultimately, that led to them getting all 3 forts and getting lots of value there. Picking up a couple camps and painting the map, in my case, orange, right? I have the colorblind mode, but painted it red, right? So taking all the camps, but now trying to take the pressure with these camps and get value somewhere. So Sonya, ooh, and Greymane. The lead coming through, the follow-up, and again, a very good disengage by Way to Go. We see the Riptire coming out. Right wing going down immediately. Leaning rather low. Sonya trying to do some damage, but has to be careful. Needing to back off. Predacon on the chase. But they're able to disengage. And again, all the while, Leo was soaking. So these are very favorable fights on the side of Icecrown. They're committing 4 people for 5 on the side of Souls and Slowmo, and they're getting value out of that.
Your world is upside down.
As we see, oh, the bump and to the trap. You hate to see that. but good play Blushing Boku. And again, illustrating the power and annoyance of a Junkrat. And they're sieging, able to take out the top the walls from the mid keep. They're trying to get the city done. And we see Phoenix go out, and it will go down. So, Icecrown fully in control. Being able to get a lot of value. Now they look to take the top loser camp. And again, down a level and a half, and with 16 online for Icecrown, Souls and Slowmo having to back off. So this is where Souls and Slowmo has to make a difficult decision, right? Are they going to opt to try to challenge for this objective, or will they try to give value somewhere else, I should say? Right away we see the booster camp being picked up on the side of Icecrown, but again, and it looks like there are questions being answered. We see Souls and Slowmo say, okay, we can't contest you. Obviously, big advantage there. Let's just get what we can up top. And so again, if you are Icecrown, you want to do this as soon as possible and maybe respond to this push. I've seen teams before just say, hey, we're going to actually go all the way to keep. Because especially with the Grey Ming and the Lee Ming, you can do quite a bit of damage. But Souls and Slowmo is going to opt to back up right away. Smart play. But one that I've seen in other matches where they say, hey, we're going to lose the keep anyways. We can't really fight this. Let's just try to get a keep anyways. And then back off whenever the Punisher is on a keep. So, but they decide to get back. Be careful, mindful of the Junkrat mines. Reptile coming out, and Phoenix. And actually gets destroyed before it explodes. Punisher leaps on top of the core. And right away getting Granite Blast, but is able to pop up an unstoppable getaway, but spreads the bomb inadvertently, as always. And Icecrown able to secure the bottom keep, again being able to have that pressure. Those catapults are not going to be something that Souls and Slowmo will have to deal with for the rest of this match. So again, that brings us to that previous situation up here where Souls and Slowmo could have said, hey, we're going to lease the bottom keep. We really can't defend it. We could have actually made the decision to race, you know, but we see the engage. Seeing that Leo is up top, they did try to enclave. Yukov being able to get one spot to get interrupted. I believe Leap come through. We do see Suva going down. Kel'Thas getting W value, but the bunker's there to provide some value, but they come out to the Blizzard from May. We do have Blaze going down. Those Kel'Thas W are... Wait, then we have the... The chase, trying to get away from that Reptile. And it doesn't hit any of them, but able to get some value on the mid keep. Oh, while we do have particular map, camp at the bottom, catapults. But we are able to see two keeps now go down. And so again, with level 20 online, we have Death March from the side of Icecrown and Leo, Flamethrower, Controlled Chaos, Flash, Freeze, and extra oomph, right? Oomph from Junkrat. Icecrown looking to siege again. And this is where Souls and Slowmo have to be careful, right? There's a potential to get deaths, staggered kills, and we do see the boot and root. Toxic Core be able to get away. We see Riptire immediately go out. Only lands on the Blaze. But here goes a siege on the top keep. All the while we also have a camp in the middle. There's still catapults still up there. We do see. Oh, the boop. Greymane. Oh no. And Shimboku has been on point with those boops. I think this 3 times now, be able to secure kills with that. So again, Junkrat proving to be very valuable in this match. But that hand pickup, they return to trying to secure the top key. We have Kel'Thas stepping up rather forward, but when they have a 4 to 5 level advantage, why not? So you see the top keep going down, and again, so the slowmo have to be careful. Staggered deaths set up an opportunity for Icecrown to end the match, but they're gonna back off and say we got what we wanted. All 3 keeps are down. We got a kill, and now we're able to get a free objective. And so now, a very difficult time or situation for Souls and Slowmo with the next Punisher online. Oh, and they're able to sniff out. They're doing the siege camp and Blaze by themselves on the point. Mine does a bucket comes out right before it lands on Blaze, but not. Oh, very smart play on the side of Icecrown. Sniffed out that camp pickup. Most teams would have been content by, saying, hey, we're getting the objective. There's no keeps. Just do the safe play, but Icecrown decided, no, let's go take advantage of our level 20s and end this match. And now it looks like they're trying to end 30 seconds on Blaze. Leo taking some damage, but able to Wraith walk away. And again, with those traps, it's very difficult to get into that Junkrat. Traps, the boobs, catapults are building up. Sony's trying to deal with them. We see March coming out. We do have the Octagon upgrade on the side of Sonya. They had to use it on a Leo, unfortunately. And we're seeing a lot of buttons being pressed all over the place. So, but overall, now we're seeing the health pools of Icecrown getting a little bit lower. They decide to back off. We have some catapult pressure. Greymane's trying to deal with what he can, but they can just fall back to the objective and say, "Hey, we got 53% of the core. Now we can just finish the objective." So this is a situation where those in Slowmos are probably saying, hey, we just have to go in. There's no way we're going to be able to defend that. We just got to go in. Even here, trying to get a pick a fight ahead of the Punisher would not be surprising. They're getting in the bush. Pink's coming out. Maybe we saw them. I'm not sure if they were seen, but that's something I would guess is they're probably somewhere behind us. And we see Kel'Thas in the bottom. Jimmy goes engaging intent. Lead misses again on the Stukov, able to swipe. Sonya trying to spin to win, but goes down. We see Greymane going down. Blaze going down. And then probably trying to save, but it looks like it's going to be for naught. As we have the Punisher on the keep. And with that, Icecrown looks like they're going to be able to secure game 1 on Infernal Shrines. So GG's. So again, we see. I actually didn't even notice until now. We have a 13-1. Oh, actually, my map thingy is not set up, so you can't even see the score. But it was 13-1 in favor of Icecrown. So again, a very dominant showing from the side of Icecrown Citadel Knights. Let's see if I can fix this real quickly. Again, with all the issues that Twitch had today, having to switch passwords and such, There's a last few minute kind of difficulties, but I was able to get it up and going, which is good. But when I was fixing things, I think I messed up some other things, unfortunately. But let me see if I can resize this real quickly so I can show the. There you go. That's why I get paid the big bucks. So it was 13-1, very dominant showing. So if we look at the damage coming through, we do have 37k from the lane being able to do damage, but we see that Junkrat and the Kel'Thas able to put out damage. And it wasn't really a lack of damage. We see damage was pretty much there. The healing also very similar from Stukov and Brightwing. When we look at XP, that's where we see the Leoric. We did see, remember, Leoric being able to be in the offlane during the objectives and during fights a couple times, and so that was a big advantage. And so it looked like just Souls and Slowmo had a very difficult time going in, and a few times they did not start the objective early, allowed Icecrown to set up. And so again, with a Junkrat and a Kel'Thas, it's difficult to follow up on that. Can I shoutcast the next match? Maybe if I had a little bit more energy. Right now I'm kind of like I said, I just got off work. Maybe another day when I have a little bit more energy drink or something, right? Let's look at the talents. So nothing unusual. We did see the March of the Black King with interesting choice, but it worked out. But for the most part, Lyric wasn't really in a lot of fights, so it seems like it didn't really matter. Went with the full actually Spooky Hand build. The leap I think was good, but a very good job on from the Stukov by Way to Go, being able to disengage a couple times. That leap came through, but had enough time actually to disengage and kind of disrupt that the engage by Sonya. Usually we Sonya leaping in, followed by Blaze, and then we saw Greyman go in with along with Leeming's damage, but just not able to secure a kill. When they did that, except once, right? There was like once at the bottom later in the game, where they actually got a pick, and that was a 4v5. And again, we saw Leo being somewhere else. Yeah, it's hard to stream. Yeah, I don't expect Junkrat to make a return for game 2. Me neither. Junkrat is very powerful, obviously. And so let's look at again for some reason the updater for the HOTS kind of settings here for NGS are kind of messed up. I wasn't able to update the maps, but I do want to let you know what they were. We did have Icecrown Citadel Knights banning out Altrak Valley and Volskaya Foundry, and Souls and Slowmo banned Towers and Battlefield of Eternity. We did have Infernal Shrines being picked by Icecrown, so it looks like we're going to Dragonshire. I'm trying to see if it's a pick from Souls and Slowmo or Icecrown. All right. So yeah, definitely that Junkrat. It's something that I would expect to be banned. Everything else is, I mean, May is a tank that from what I know, Credit Clown plays quite often. And Leo wasn't, like I said, Leo wasn't even there for most of the matches, fights, I should say. It looks like everybody's here and getting ready. So we're going to be going to Dragonshire. But yeah, as we mentioned, or I mentioned before the start of the match, it was going to be very difficult for Souls and Slowmo to get and reach that Junkrat. And Icecrown did a very good job of getting ahead. So now Let's get back into draft. We have first pick on the side of Icecrown, so they're going to be banning. And so this obviously was, I believe, banned or picked by Souls and Slowmo. We see the Lyric ban. Interesting. We did see the Brightwing being banned out on the side of Icecrown. Again, Brightwing, very strong pick here, being able to support the top solo laner whenever their Z is available. Interesting to see the Leo being banned out. We do see Gazlo being banned on the side of Icecrown. Makes sense. I think one of Gazlo's better maps, on the note, not having to deal with mana turrets, able to deal with a lot of the solo laners. Only a few, I would think, can beat out a Gazlo. Let's see what the second ban will be for Souls and Slowmo. And we do see the Junkrat, of course. You don't want to see that Junkrat. So we do see two of the bans from the previous match.
Is worth fighting for.
Leo and Junkrat. And right away, Credit Clown picking up the May. And again, Credit Clown done a really good job of providing peeling, engaging.
The crusade calls.
And we see that being countered with a Stukov and Johanna. So Mimi is taking the Stukov away from Wade to Go. But Anduin is up. So I would expect Wade to go say, hey, there you go. Anduin and Hanzo. So this Icecrown said, okay, you took our Stukov, you left Anduin, so we'll take Anduin. We do see Shimpoku pick up Hanzo. Storm League chat. Oh god, maybe I should hide Storm League. I should turn that off. Leave chats. I forget. I always forget to turn off Storm League. You know, Storm League is entertaining in its on its own right. Anyways, we do see a ban of Sonya from the side of Souls and Slowmo. Again, very interesting ban. And then we do have what's going to be the second round of bans. Like Greymane. Again, Greymane's very good here, right? Being able to do camps. Again, has a lot of siege. So, what is Souls and Slowmo going to pick here? We do have an Anduin. They have to be mindful of the potential of Anduin with Mei. We have Hanzo being able to be a hero that can, for the most part, be okay in the bottom lane. We'll have a Rexar. You forget about Rexar, right? And so I think maybe that makes more sense as to why Leo was banned out. But still, even then, Rexar does fine into Leo. He's able to sustain himself a bit. But we do have Tacitor, so now we have Tacitor walls. This is a very good map for Tacitor as well. And so I would expect Lich Queen to probably pick that Blaze. Pretty good map for Blaze. Dahaka. And we do have the Nazeebo. Very interesting. Obviously, Nazeebo, very strong. Got slightly nerfed in the last patch, but still relatively, I would say, annoying with their spider build. Not as much. But still. Zombie walls. Light bomb. But interesting what ult Nazeebo takes. And a Butcher. I like it. Why not? Very spicy pick. I mean, a Mei can provide a stun and the wall, and I guess Anduin with his ult and maybe the brute, but if they're not careful, this Butcher can run in. It's gonna have to be careful. So from the looks of it, looks like they're gonna have like a 1-1-3 in the side of Souls and Slowmo. with Butcher being the roamer from mid to top lane. We'll see how they line themselves up. So a very kind of standard comp on the side of Icecrown, for the most part as well, on Souls and Slowmo. But the Butcher, why not, right? Last game of the season. Let's have some fun. All right, let's get started. We'll start with
prepare for combat.
Souls in Slowmo. We have Dauntress on the Tacitor, Nemesis on the Butcher, Toxic Core on Johanna, Mimius on Sukov, and Lone Wolf on the Rexar. I'm not going to say XX Lone Wolf XX.
Battle commencing.
Way to go on
10 seconds.
the Anduin, Correx on the
5,
the Shaman, right?
4, 3,
Diablo 2.
2, 1.
Shirpoku on Hanzo, Dahaka being played by Lich Queen, and Credit Clown on the main. Right away we see Rexar going to the top lane. Tells me that Souls and Slowmo probably just going to be like, hey, we're good. We're not going to try and fight with you. Butcher's just going to try and get a few stacks of meat if possible. And right away we see Cassidy trying to get the line clear. Zombie wall coming out. Like I said, that's something that the Butcher will have to be mindful of. If he gets trapped in that zombie wall, that's likely going to be a dead Butcher. We see the 4-man rotation coming through. Zombie wall missing again. And Butcher with the 4-man. Cassidy was trying to get a flank there. We do see right away Mizibo mid, trying to get those stacks. On top we have Dahaka going at it with Rexar, able to get the Talon Drag on Misha, but Misha able to back off. We do see Butcher rotating mid, trying to get some of those stacks. All the while, Mizibo rotates to start the siege camp on the side of Icecrown. And likely we'll see the same on the side of Souls and Slowmo, which we do with Tacitor and Stukov. Johanna holding bot. However, 2v1 likely gonna have to give that, especially with Anduin there. We do have camp being picked up by Souls and Slowmo, not able to secure any point yet, except top was secured by Rexar. And so that's going to be a match I'll try to keep an eye on, right? Rexar being able to trade out pretty well, get Misha on point, and get to secure the point without putting himself in danger. You see Credit Clown trying to go in, Butcher charging. Oh, I was going to say, I don't think they had to slide out, but luckily Way to Go did have the pull, which will be very important. That's something that Butcher will have to be mindful of, especially if they go Slaughterhouse. Or Lamp to Slaughter, I should say. Oh, Pole's not there. Wall coming out. And oh, Credit Clown. Oh, can you get away? No. Able to get the kill. And Butcher already at 65 stacks. This is not a quick match Butcher, right? We were used to the quick match Butcher that probably would have 0 stacks already at 3 minutes in. Nemesis being able to have already 70. We still see Rexar going at it with Dahaka, but the advantage that Dahaka has is not needing to deal with so much with mana, but also we can engage the bottom. And Hanzo actually getting blown up. I barely caught that. I'm keeping an eye on the Butcher. As soon as I see that Butcher move real quickly, I know something's happening. But again, something that is going to have to be as far as Rexar is running out of mana, right? So you can be here for a while, but eventually you have to back. We do see the rotation up from Horix on the Zebo. And they're trying to secure the first DK, and they will get it, actually. Good job on the side of Souls and Slowmo. We do have Butcher at 104 stacks already. And so that's kind of like the spike, right? The looming spike that most teams, whenever they face Butcher, want to try and avoid. Trying to siege mid, but they do back off, go bottom. Trying to see if they can get some value down here. Dragon Knight kicks me again. We do see the healer being on the Dragon Knight, but I guess they were just trying to secure that first Dragon Knight. So take what you can. May able to unstoppable before the kick comes through. They are able to get. Here comes the engage, and we do see the Butcher going down and loses a few stacks down to 96. But overall, the value that Souls and Slomo got is very good. They're able to secure the first one. Typically, the first dragon is not a very good one. Is this game score not updated? Oh yeah, thank you for letting me know. Yes, it's not updated yet. I'll update it now. There you go. Thanks for pointing that out. First time caster problems, right? Anyways, we do see the Bruiser can't be picked up on the side of Icecrown. We're able to get some value of that. Zombie Wall does land on Dauntless, and right away look at the combo. The Zombie Wall with the Root follow-up from May. That's something to look at. And they're able to get some value down here. So even though they didn't get the first Dragon Knight, they pick up the camp, and they're almost able to even things up. Not quite. You know, we do have Butcher securing the top Bruiser camp. He got some help, I believe, from Rexar. Rexar getting some pressure onto Haka, but then backs up. We do have the side of Icecrown looking to engage. It goes Butcher and the Zombie Wall, and that's a little dance. It's always funny when you see that animation. You see Butcher do that, you see Varian do that when he does his charge, where they go in circles. And somehow actually gets away from the Blizzard from May. All the while we do see Butcher and Rexar move up to try and help support the top, and I think camp, and I think that's a good move. We actually see Stukov, so we actually see a three-member rotate up to put pressure on that. I think that's good. Put pressure, and we look at 10s coming online for both teams. Archon for Tacitor, Flailing Slight for Stukov, Unleash Boars, Rexar, Furnace Blast, surprisingly being picked. Not Lamp Slaughter. And oh! Wow, that Butcher getting dragged while Furnace was on, but unfortunately still goes down, and the chase goes on. The top fort is gone, but Souls and Slomo having to back off. The Haka borrows down to secure the bottom. Shiboko being trapped by Korx's Zombie Wall, but not much comes out of that. We do see Johanna rotate down, and let's see if Icecrown's able to secure. We do have Rexar up there, still being able to put Misha. You have to be careful though. And it looks like Icecrown's going to look to siege the top lane. And again, with the 4-man, you have the Zebo. He did quite a bit of damage. All the while, we do have Souls and Slomo bottom lane. Butcher still at 94 stacks after that death. The Haka's mid, but we still have, again, 4-man being dedicated to the top lane. Misha getting rooted. Might go down. Misha, no. And Misha does go down. They try to get the towers and the CP Cup, but very good trade. Hey, they're like, hey, you're going to try and siege your top? There you go. Very aggressive play on the part, but on the side of Souls and Slomo, but I like that. Saying, hey, you're going to be trying to pressure our top fort, we're going to pressure your bottom keep, and that forces Icecrown to respond to that. We see Creticon trying to do an engage, but they're able to get away. And that's kind of the play that I wish that Souls and Slomo would have done in the last match, right? They could have taken a little bit more structure, and they did that this time. They back off and get their own siege camp. Joe able to scout out Creticlown. It looks like Butcher's trying to wrap around. We do see the wall come up, but nothing comes of that. The Haka still soaking mid, while we do have Nazebo top. And we still have, I say Tams haven't picked up. Oh, Butcher going in with a furnace, and the silence blows up, Anduin, and that's the power of. But again, I'm surprised that we didn't see Lamb to Slaughter, but I guess with the Anduin value that could come from that, makes sense. We do see Dahaka go top and help this wave, but Cells and Slowmo are saying, hey, we can get some value down here, but they have to be careful. Sieging into a Nazebo is always very challenging, to say the least. We do see the top fort, or top, yeah, it is fort actually, go down for Souls and Slowmo. And they didn't get much bottom, but they got some pressure. Looks like they were thinking about doing the bottom siege camp, but they backed off. And now we have Butcher still trying to farm. He's at 144 stacks. Wasn't actually at a very good pace, but those 2 kills slow down the stacks on Butcher. I didn't get to go through all of the level 10s because there was a few fights that broke out. We do have Blessed Shield on the side of Johanna. After that, we do have Isolation on Dahaka, Gargantuan on Nazebo, Dragon Strike, Light Bomb, and Ice Wall. Meanwhile, we do have Icecrown. Right now, they're split, but so is Souls and Slowmo. Rexar's top. Butcher is doing their Bruiser camp. Dahaka digs top to secure the top. Shrine. Isolation comes out and misses. And it looks like Souls and Slowmo's just trying to posture themselves up. Okay, they were waiting for Butcher. Now they're trying to see if they can get engaged. Butcher is going in. Is he going in all in completely? He is. I thought he was going to fake that engage. But he actually went all the way, and Archon is popped. Light Bomb comes out as well. Butcher comes in again with the Furnace. And that, I think, is what they were waiting for. Is can he bait out something? Maybe they were trying to bait out something, but Butcher will pay the price for that. As Sanu goes down, but then the Butcher does go down as well. I mean, it's a 3v3 bottom, and they have to be careful. Their health pools are a little bit lower. A little bit lower. You do have the Zebo, but you don't have a healer. And Rex are able to secure the top, push off Dahaka, and so it looks like Souls and Slowmo are going to be able to secure the Dragon Knight.
Fire comes for you.
And they are. Very good play again. And so I was surprised with that Butcher charge. I thought he was going to try and stop early, but he went all the way in. It looked like he was trying to bait something out, and nothing really came out, but some other abilities came out, and then once Light Bomb came out, Ice Wall came out, that was time for Butcher to go in. He's like, hey, Ice Wall's out, Zombie Wall's out, Light Bomb's out, nothing else I should be worried about, besides his damage, obviously. But able to blow up that Anduin, which should be the target. They do get the middle fort, so some decent value. They are ahead. So this is the first time, I believe, in this series so far that these last few levels that Souls and Slowmo has been ahead. So good job on their part. They move down to secure the Bruiser camp, while Icecrown secures their siege camp. We see them move over in the Bermuda Triangle, trying to see. They see all of the members of Souls and Slowmo bottom escorting this camp, and we have Misha providing some vision, anchoring that bush. And now they're going to try into siege again. We do see Ice Wall come out. Rex are being caught up. Dragon Strike coming along. Light Bomb coming in and out. And so, look like the abilities also weren't quite coordinated. Oh, here comes Butcher with the Furnace, and a little bit, the timing's a little bit late. But again, sieging into a Nazebo just sounds rough, right? Anybody who's a HOTS player knows sieging into a Nazebo just sounds disgusting. And that's what they have to deal with. Nazebo able to provide a lot of counter pressure at that siege. And we gotta be careful. If that Blessed Shield's out or available and Butcher's there, that Anduin easily could have been blown up again. Looks like Icecrown is falling back, opting not to get caught out. And this is where Icecrown has to be careful, right? Souls and Slowmo is closing in on level 20. They're about a level ahead. Icecrown rotates, clear the camp,
And the Dragon
secure
Knight's
the
power
bottom
is
shrine.
yours.
All the while, we see the 5-man rotate top from the part of Souls and Slowmo. They're looking to steal the top bruiser, but this is where you gotta again be careful. You're trading a camp for a fort, and so if you are Souls and Slowmo, you want to get something out of this. And there you go. They're gonna threaten the keep. You have to get something out of this. The walls is good, and it looks like we're playing a game of chicken now. Who's gonna back off first? And yeah, I mean, Haka's digging top. Oh, it looks like they're gonna try and secure the Dragon Knight. All the while, Souls and Slowmo is. But this is, we have to be careful as well, though. Even if they get the DK, they can continue to siege, and that DK can be useless. I was surprised with 20. I would have just said, hey, you can have the DK. We're gonna just try to end. Like, that also could have been a decision. Maybe not the best, but we do have that camp up here, but probably be taken care of. So they were able to trade a fort eventually for a keep, so that worked out on the side of Souls and Slowmo. See Stukov and Tacit are working on the bruiser camp. Haka rotating up. And then we have everybody posturing around the statue for channeling. Haka able to take the top shrine, preventing Souls and Slowmo from being able to channel, but now we're going to see that they're going to try to collapse. You're level 20. Ah, they just got 20 as well. That was the time. Dahaka tried to dig. They did dig away. He was just engaged. Dahaka digged. Oh no. Dahaka digged as soon as the double furnace blast. Oh no. We do see May and Anduin go out. So Dahaka digged as soon as that engage happened, which you can say is maybe good, but also maybe bad. Dahaka was hanging around, able to secure bottom, decides to back off. I don't know, if I were Souls and Slowmo, I would have almost said go core. I mean, about 40-second timers. That's a big opportunity. You have the healer and the tank out, but they opt to decide to get the Dragon Knight. A 17-minute Dragon Knight's pretty powerful. They can go through the top lane. They're able to secure it with Johanna in the Dragon Knight. And so that's something that you maybe could have done. It looks like they are going to try and rotate top. The double. Oh no. That, you hate to see that. The unfortunate kick from the dragon.
Red team's core is under attack.
And so, if you're Souls and Slowmo, you gotta get rid of the Zebo. You have to get rid of the Zebo. Oh, and if you're Icecrown, you're trying to engage on this. We do see the tongue drag, and we do Johanna's popping on Supple, able to disengage. Failing swipe being used by again the Zebo just. And I see what I mean. I feel like if I were Souls and Slowmo, I would have been like, I will take my chances on a 3v5 with Nazebo being up still, but at least we can focus Nazebo. With a Dragon Knight, they weren't able to do much. We do see the engage. May silenced. Oh no! The double blast. Oh, the blast shield coming out, but the pole is able to go through. Okay. The boars to come out. We have. Oh, the double pull. So they're saying, hey, we're going to try and get some value bottom here. Okay. Yeah, if you're, you gotta respect the butcher with 230 stacks, especially if you're a Hanzo. But Toxic Core will be going down, unfortunately. And so with that, Sozen Slowmo says we're gonna back off. They were able to get a bottom keep, so the pressure does build up.
Be long before the shrines
But again,
ready for the
Nazebo, one of the better heroes to be able to deal with this kind of pressure. Dahaka moving over to do their own camp. And again, I'm actually surprised that they went to do their own camp. If I were Sozen Slowmo, I would have been here. I would have said they're probably going to do their camp. We have to take advantage for numbers. But they're able to pick that up. We do see the Bruiser camp being picked up. But this will be on the bottom lane, so that's important to note as well. They have some lane pressure there. They're going to be able to secure bottom and top. Wait, what is Rexar? Rexar's not going to... Oh, I thought Rexar was going to secure it. It's interesting. Maybe thought they were going to get picked on. We do. Oh, there you go. On Nazebo. Oh. Nazebo does go down. That's what you wanted if you're Sozen Slowmo. That Butcher being stunned forever. Oh, but a life bomb to the slide out. And the silence coming through. And May does go down. Okay, yeah. If you're Sozen Slowmo, you're going bottom. With already catapults and some pressure going through. And it's going to be a difficult defense without a Nazebo. They're going to try their best. We do see a Butcher going in. Anduin going down really low. Literally able to get away, but with a Butcher at level 23 with 240 stacks, it can chunk away at that core. And Sozen Slowmo with the Pocket Butcher pick, being able to secure themselves game number 2. What an exciting match. Always exciting when you do see a Butcher. Again, not one of those heroes you see often in competitive. Overall, a lot better performance from the side of Souls and Slowmo. When we look at some of the stats, we do see Nazebo again. That damage from Nazebo. Only one death. Unfortunately, one that really mattered. That's how it is, right? You do well all match, but you get one death, and it's the one that hurts the most. Again, after that, we do have Hanzo. So very solid damage across the board from Hanzo and Nazebo. I'll follow up with Tacitor, Rexar, and Butcher. On the side of Souls and Slowmo for healing, Stukov with 100 and almost 20k healing and then versus 20 or 50, I should say, from Anduin. So we can see where the sustain from Stukov helped him, especially against a Nazebo. So a lot of damage was coming out, but a lot of it was being mitigated by Stukov. So good job on the part of Mimius. We look at XP, pretty even on the part of Dahak and Rexar, but again, that Nazebo being able to bring that siege. So definitely this time we saw Souls and Slowmo being more opportunistic. And with that Butcher, obviously can be one of those feast or famine heroes. So we'll let you look at the talents for you to look at while we wait for the next match. Let me update the sheet. This time I won't forget. So Drakenshire is always a very interesting map. And they could be challenging. Oh, there you go. What am I doing? There you go. That's what I'm going to do. Left Storm League chat. No more entertaining conversations. Yeah, so I personally was surprised Furnace Blast, but it worked out. I think the idea was, hey, if I don't get anybody who is not Anduin, they'll get pulled out. Except at level 20. Obviously, the upgrade of Slaughterhouse is amazing. But it worked out. They got a few kills. Even when Butcher was CC, they still got some value out of that. And again, thanks for the follows, the Ember G and Galahad. Yeah, game 3. Last game of the season. So both teams putting on a show. So we'll take a short break while teams set up for game 3. I'll be right back. All right. Looks like we're going to be going to Cursed Hollow. I believe was picked by Icecrown. So we're just waiting teams to confirm they're ready. All right. Now we get ready for game number 3 on Cursed Hollow. So again, I believe this was picked by Icecrown. And let's see how we're going to get started. Again, if your soul's in slow-mo, probably we'll stick with that ban. Getting rid of Junkrat probably is a good ban here again. Lots of walls. A lot of walls that people can be bumped over and not able to get away from. So again, Junkrat can get a lot of value here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that ban. We do see the Lyric banned again. Interesting. Are we seeing another, hey, last game, let's just have fun? Icecrown responds with a another Brightwing ban. So let's see. Well, Souls and Slowmo say we don't want to deal with that Junkrat again. We already dealt with it. Or will they opt for something else? Again, Curse being a map that a little bit larger, wave clear. It's also important we do see the Junkrat being banned. Okay, so Souls and Slowmo said let's follow the ban that we did on game 2. And that'll be responded by, I would say, what was their ban on game 2? Falstad. Okay, we do see a Falstad. I would be surprised again for Icecrown could pick up Dehaka here. But actually, you see the May being picked up from Toxic Core saying, okay, Credit Clown, you're not going to get May this time. If anybody gets to play her, it's going to be May. Ha ha ha. That's my dad joke for the day. Again, Dehaka is still in play. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. We do see Way to go to back to Stukov. And Credit Clown picks up Johanna. So kind of a flip, right? We saw Way to go. We saw Stukov and Johanna on the side of Souls and Slowmo. May on Icecrown. So they flipped those 3 picks at least. And then Anduin. So again, now we have the 4 picks being swapped. They got Stukov and Johanna. We'll respond by getting May and Anduin, right? So let's see what the next pick is going to be on the side of Souls and Slowmo. We do have Asmo. Asmo Dunk going to be coming through as a pick for Souls and Slowmo. And again, this is one of those maps where if you played that's a quick match, you have that Asmodan who just never goes to team fights but goes all the way to core, right? But obviously that doesn't happen in competitive, right? Let's see what the second round of ban brings us. We do have a Zeratol being banned out. Very interesting. Not wanting to deal with a stealth, especially Zeratol. Let's see what the third or the second round of bans will bring us for Souls and Slowmo. Stu job wins. Varian. Huh. Interesting. Maybe they thought they would want to deal with a Varian off lane. But with Credit Count picking Johanna, I don't think Taunt Varian was something they would be questioning. But nonetheless, that's the second round of bans. We do see Dahaka being picked up by Icecrown and then Hanzo. So for the most part, besides the healer and the tank, two of the heroes they had last time. But Souls and Slowmo, they wouldn't pick a Butcher again, would they? Would they? Let's see what the final two picks will be for Souls and Slowmo. And we have a Zebo and a Rexar. So, remember when I asked last time, sieging into Nazebo, how does that feel? Well, now, sieging into Nazebo and an Asmodan. I think that's the only worst thing, right? So it's already bad enough to siege into an Nazebo or an Asmodan, but it's even worse to try to siege into both. But we do see a Zagara, which makes sense why that ban on Zeratul came through. So they do have some siege potential. But overall, besides the tank and the healer and the offlaner, the rather interesting choices from the assassin side for both teams. We don't see any swaps. And it looks like we're going to be staying that. At least in those heroes. Alright, so overall, this is a map that either can go to 20 or can end rather short, but both teams have some sort of siege. With Zagara, especially at 10, if they do take Nidus Network, being able to be like a pseudo-global, and a Dahaka as well. So that's interesting. It looks like they're going to try and respond to some of the pressure from Souls and Slowmo. But we'll see what that brings us. So again, we have Souls and Slowmo, Mimius on the Anduin, Toxic Core on Mei, Dauntress on the Asmodan, Lone Wolf on the Rexar, and then Nemesis on the Zebo on the side of Icecrown, Lich Queen on Dahaka again, Credit Clown on the Johanna,
5, 4,
Shimboku
3,
on
2,
the Hanzo, Way to Go
1.
on the Sukhov,
Let
and
the
Korix
battle begin.
on the Zagara. And we see kind of a split right away. 4 of the members of Souls and Slowmo. Oops. There you go. Right away, sieging bottom. And with that Nazebo, the zombie wall, being able to provide some pressure, they get half a tower. Right away, we do see Icecrown responding to that. Rexar from the top lane with the Haka rotating up to respond to it. We do see it bottom lane ARAM, right? Hanzo does try to get some soak mid. But again, as good as Zagara is at sieging, she's not going to out-siege an Asmo and a Nazebo. We do see spiders at level 1 from Nazebo and Gluttony from Asmo. We don't see anything else different. Right away, we do see Nazebo rotate mid. Hope get some soak. All the while, we do still have another Dahaka Rexar match up top. Let's move back down. That Asmo helps get pressure with that trait on any lane. We do see a 1v1 with a Hanzo and a Nazebo, but Hanzo gotta be careful. Those spiders hurt. Those spiders hurt a tank, so maybe not quite right now with only 9 stacks, but as that gets to 100, that's gonna be more of a problem. We do see Korix on the Zagara backing off to get the siege camp, and Misha goes down. Poor Misha. Credit Clown trying to get some pressure on that Asmodan. And again, because this map is so spread out, there's not much you can do. Surprisingly, no one from Souls and Slowmo went to get any of the camps. This actually would have been a really good camp, right? With the objective being bottom. Icecrown getting rather low, able to pop the Unstoppable. But that would have been a very good camp to get top. It looks like Rexar is going to stay there. Again, Dahaka being able to provide that global. And so let's see how Souls and Slowmo is going to try to play this. Asmo being kind of low. And it looks they're just going to give this. No one's going to interrupt. Huh. Okay. But they do leave bottom lane completely empty with that siege camp down there. But they move towards the mid lane. And it looks like Souls and Slowmo is going to play the... We're going to rotate to the lane you guys are not in game. Which can be effective, right? With a Nazebo and an Asmo. That's something that they do have to respond with. However, they do leave bottom lane. They rotated 4 up mid and were able to get 1 tower. And they left the bottom to the siege camp and they got 1 tower as well. So... I don't know what to think of that trade, but it looks like they are trying to just rotate to where Icecrown is not at and get some value. Stukov and Hanzo working on that bruiser camp. And again, I'm still surprised I haven't seen any camps picked up, but I figure Souls and Slowmo saying we don't need any camps. We have our heroes can push. Rexar trying to get that channel, but 3 members are here to stop that. And again, they're backing off uncontested. Nazebo dealing with the mid bruiser by themselves. Have to be careful though. We see rotation from Icecrown, and oh, Hanzo's there too, and he will get picked off. First blood going to the side of Icecrown. They were able to get the bottom wall though. Well, not much damage done to the fort, looks like. Zagar needing to back off. The camp is still mid. Rexar finally goes over to pick the camp, but I don't know if this was the best time to get this camp, right? They're going to be top. So that camp gets a little bit value mid. And this is one where now Souls and Slowmo has to make the decision. Are we going to contest this with levels 10 looming? Or are we just going to go to lanes and just push the lanes out with Asmodan and Nazebo? It looks like they're not going to be able to get there. No one. Oh, the blow coming out. 10's about to come in. And they have to be careful. Icecrown does get zombie wall. Oh, Misha goes down. 10s are online. Right away we see Dragon Strike being picked. May being isolated and gets picked off with that. Souls and Slowmo is going to have to back off and give up the first objective. However, they do have that camp. Will help push off a little bit. Most of the members of Icecrown looking to siege mid. We have Dahaka bot with Asmodan responding to that. But so early on. But again, I was surprised that Souls and Slowmo decided to contest that. We do see Spider being completed. Widowmaker is being completed by Nazebo. But again, they gave up the curse, which they would have given it up anyways. So I was surprised they actually tried to contest when they gave up the first 2. Uh-oh, Asmodan, be careful. Here comes a heavy rotation. And it looks like that's going to be a dead. And you throw in the Dragon Strike just to ensure Asmodan has no place to retreat to. They are going to be able to get the bottom fort, it looks like. Rexar are able to hold off the guard top. So again, the get some value of this. I think they got the mid wall as well.
Slain.
Oh, Rexar goes down. Gotta be careful with that Zagara, even with the nerfs. Ranged heroes, especially for an offlaner, are still a challenge. We do see the members of so the slowmo do their bruiser camp, Hanzo doing their siege camp, but so the slowmo's falling behind on XP level and about a level. We do see the boss being started on the side of those in slowmo in response to probably they guessed that Icecrown was doing theirs, so like, hey, they're probably doing theirs for 2 hours. Well, the while Nazeeble's still up here, he's gonna be careful though. Once he sees that he has to back off. Yeah, Nazeeble, you gotta back off. And it looks like they're rotating mid, right? And they're like gonna support or clear this camp, but they're gonna actually go top, back top. So that they'll be able to get their own. But Nazeeble, you gotta be careful. They can dive you. That, yeah, that's when you just have to say, yep, that's gone. I'm out of here. We have 4 members up top. And we do see, I think get through all the level 10s, we do see Demonic Invasion from Asmodee. So right away we see that come out. Light Bomb from Anduin. Unleash Force, Gargantuan, Avalanche on the side of Icecrown, Dragon Strike, Isolation, Blessed Shield, Failing Swipe, and Devouring Maw. So the Zagara didn't go for Nidus Network. Instead being able to set up and engage. And again, because of the boss, Souls and Slowmo having to rotate up and deal with it, and are not able to contest that objective. We do have Zagara trying to help clear the bottom camp, but not much damage coming there. And now we see the super siege team of Souls and Slowmo. Dragon Strike comes out, gets some damage out on Zebo, but they're able to back off and disengage. They're still being a level down as level 16 is looming. And again, it might be that Souls and Slowmo might have to give up this next 2 objectives unless they could get 16 by then. The Sea Bruiser can be picked up. Zagara pick off Hanzo. And again, we see that rotation. We're going to rotate to where you're not, or we don't think you are. Zombie Wall, Demonic Invasion, and then leave. And each one of these
Heroes.
little minion dudes, Demonic Invasion dudes, they do quite a bit of damage when they explode. They do like about 1,000, right? They do quite a bit. All the while, Rexar top, trying to get some soak pressure. The Hawk already in position, and it looks like they're not even going to bother getting the curses. I mean, that's what I thought they were going to do the first time. They're just not going to even bother. You see Light Bomb coming out, helping heal for Asmodee, but does go down. Avalanche comes out, gets 2 of the members of Icecrown. However, they're able to walk out, and Zebo not able to provide much damage there. The point did get picked up. So we have 2 for the side of Icecrown. They did pick up 16, so they couldn't really challenge that. Next one taking the top. We did see an engage, and unable to save that Rexar.
I grow tired of your petty squabbling. Gather tribute.
So again, if you are Souls and Slowmo, you should be able to pick that up, but will you want to contest that? Let's see. It looks like they're posturing to get ready to contest that. $16 is online. May getting scoped out. Drunk. The tongue drag right away. Hit lands. Unstoppable comes out, gets pulled back. Dragon Strike does come out. Demonic Invasion being used. Again, you have to be mindful. Those things explode for quite a bit of damage. Light Bump does come out, hits 2 members, Dahaka and Joe. Mei, unfortunately, does go down. However, some of the members of Icecrown rather low. That Hanzo being able just to stand there and do damage. Asmodan next to go down after being caught up in the maw. The root does come out, but if you are so slow-mo, you have a little tank in Misha, but unfortunately Misha goes down, and with that it looks like you're gonna have to back off. Oh, those spiders. And again, you gotta be careful if you're if that tongue lands, that is likely is dead. But again, if you're Souls in slow-mo, you gotta rely on the fact that you have very good siege heroes. They picked up another curse, but you have Gargantuan, you have Gazebo with spiders. You have a lot of siege. And just like we saw on the side of Icecrown last match, it's very difficult to siege into just a Gazebo. So, but even with that, having the camp and the catapults means that Icecrown will be able to secure the top keep, but Will Dahaka will go down. Top keep for the price of the Dahaka. We do see the engage. Light Bomb coming out on Misha, gets 2 members. The follow-up from Mei, you see Stukov go down, and Shiboku trying to escape. Can he get away? Oh, was that a mini-map click? Oh, they're trying to chase Shimpoku, but too fast. And it looks like Souls and Slowmo are going to say, hey, 2 members are down. We're going to try and take your boss, and they will. Although you got to be mindful, your Anduin's very low, but you should be able to get this relatively easy. But there are some there is well, 1 catapult, but some pressure. Souls and Slowmo will be able to pick that up. Help counter top lane pressure a bit. Icecrown doing the sneaky play, taking that bruiser camp, but still rather risky. Shiboku's really low, but Zagara able to come by, help secure it, and they back off completely. Interesting. Well, I guess it's a smart play. Their siege. They do have an Asmodan. They do have an Azebo, and demonic invasion comes out, and that keep probably is not meant to last longer. But a clown very low, not able to get away. And it looks like the keep will survive as 20s are picked up by Icecrown. We do see Apex Predator being picked up. Dragon Awakens, Radiating Faith,
or face my curse.
Controlled Chaos,
The choice is
and
simple.
Pack Instinct. Icecrown, move over. Secure the bottom boss on the side of Souls and Slowmo. And it looks like they're going to try and see if they can end with this, or at least get the bottom keep. The bottom keep. Oh, the Maul actually able to catch the Zebo. And that is. Oh! The Gita face from the Zebo, no! Or not Zebo, I mean Asmo. No. Almost a good save, but Johanna was able to get the follow-up stun and not let that Asmo escape. But they still have the Zebo. Wars come out. The second pull coming out. Able to save the maid. And again, you gotta be careful if you're Souls in slow-mo. I mean, the keep's gone. Don't trade your life for the keep, because the keep is gone. You can try and trade maybe some of the core health and try and get some kills. But if you die, that almost secures that Icecrown being able to finish off. But with the bottom keep. Icecrown says we got what we wanted. Dahaga digs top. Again, with Apex Predators going to be able to be back in time rather quickly. Starts the top. Bruiser camp. We do have Icecrown posturing up. 20s online for Chosen Slowmo. And again, it's going to be picked up. Actually, I forgot that they did get one. I think this whole match, that's the first one, if I'm not mistaken, that they're able to secure. So it's been, what, this is the 7th one they're able to get on the side of Icecrown. But again, it looks like Chosen Slowmo trying to play that game of we're just going to try and siege where we can. But those are opportunities that are going to be fewer and fewer. As somebody dies, demonic invasion. Yep. Did I say that that quick match as Modan was going to come out? Actually, I'm surprised. Are they hanging around? Oh, they're backing up. Okay, I was like to say, wait.
I grow tired of
If you're Slowmo, I would have played chicken and said, you're going to try and race an Asmo and then the Zebo. We do see the Blessed Shield come out. Helps with that follow-up from the Dragon Strike, but not much damage comes out. At least Anduin able to heal it. You see the disengage on the side of Icecrown. They're backing off now. They're going to have to respond to this. I mean, only one catapult, but that can do some damage. But again, Chosen Slowmo not opting to do an engage. And, oh, May. Very low. They are able to pick up, but no one's backing off yet. I mean, that can be a problem. Misha goes down. The Haka does hard to deal with that. And May very low. Freddy Clown being caught in the zombie wall, but able to survive. So this was a very interesting match. Chosen Slowmo seems to just want to play the siege game, but not able to quite do that. And oh, Icecrown decided to do their boss. I mean, they're melting through it at level 22. This is gonna be rather quick, and they're gonna be able to pick this up. Uh-oh, a little too late on the side. So this is now, you kind of have to fight, because if they get a boss, oh, engage or disengage, I think actually saved them. You see Gargantuan coming out. Shiboku by himself. Light Bomb comes out, but as unstoppable. Actually stuns Stukov. Stukov very low. Actually does go down. Shiboku able to leap over, trying to follow up. But if you're Chosen Slowmo, you have to keep an eye on your core. You can't be fighting here forever. That boss will take down your heaps. Oh, we do see actually Zaga go down as well. Dragon Strike come out, interrupt the channel. Yeah, we have the Zebo. Okay. Okay, they'll be able to deal with it. And when you're not gonna get the heart. Oh, we do have the catapults. Actually, never mind. I thought they had it, but the catapults, guys. Oh no. And here I thought, oh, it's okay. It's Nazebo and Asmodan, but then I look back and actually, never mind. It's not okay. Maybe I thought a little bit too much of the power of Asmodan, but again, a level 22 or a 21 minute boss actually does a bit of damage, and again, GG's. Icecrown being able to secure game 3. Like, here I thought they were fine, but there's that emoji with the dog in the background on fire. This is fine, but obviously it was not fine. Overall, we do see that 5 to 10 rather kind of a slower game compared to the others, but again, Souls and Slowmo trying to achieve, it seems like a push, but they were never able to get anything quite done. They were always kind of playing catch up. They were able to get some push, even with not even able to secure one curse. But unfortunately, that last boss play was key. Kind of put Souls and Slowmo in a catch-22, right? We can't back off because then we also give up curse, but maybe even then that might have been not so bad because ultimately the boss was doing the most damage. So let's see if we get an interview. Meanwhile, I'll switch to talents for you to check out. But again, overall great series. A great one to end for both teams for the last match of the season and onwards to the playoffs. Let's see if I can get someone from the side of Icecrown. Yeah, I'm gonna hop over to a lobby. Yeah. So
Oh
hey,
my god. Can you hear yourself double? Because my mic is like.
you might want to mute the stream then, or. But anyways, congrats.
Thank you.
You get to see the last part of the game 3. Even I had a little blunder because towards the end of that match, I was like, "Oh, it's Asmodan and Nazebo. They'll be able to deal with that." And then I started looking at the core. I'm like, "Wait, no, it's not fine." So we'll get to see that. But again, congratulations on being able to take the game 3. Exciting game 3. We had a back and forth in game 1 and game 2. But then we see your team be able to come up on top for your final match of the season, of the regular season, as we will say. So again,
Yep.
congrats with that. We do have Shimpoku as well being able to join us. First off, I wanted to kind of go back to game 1. I had a few questions throughout the matches, but
For sure.
game 1, going to Inferno Shrines, right away we see that you're able to get the Junkrat and the Kael'thas. And something that I did note was that if you're Souls and Slowmo, you're going to have to think of how you can get into that Junkrat and Kael'thas, right? You have a lot of damage coming through. You have traps. You have, the CC from Kael'thas. So it's not a very easy kind of backline to get to. And for the most part, you were able to kind of take over the objectives early, and it seems Souls and Slowmo wasn't able to get there quite in time. And so a lot of times when they got there, you already had like 25, 30 of those little minions. And so you were able to secure, I think, pretty much every of the Punishers. I can't think of, there's none of the Punishers that you did not get.
I don't think, yeah,
Yeah.
I think they got none of them.
So,
I think one of the reason they might have like actually struggled to get like the punishers or like the objectives is like they were falling so back on levels at some point. Like I think we were like 3 or 4 levels ahead. So I mean, at some point you have to give the objective. So like and find other things to do on the map. And unfortunately, they were not actually able to go back on, get back on our level. I think it got to level 20, right? Oh yeah, it did.
yeah.
Yeah, because like I saw the big leap with the
Yeah. But
crater.
But for the most part, Souls and Slowmo were kind of on their heels, and for the interestingly, you were able to play the Leo this time, and you picked the March. But I'll tell you this: I don't think I saw you. I don't think I saw you use it.
I did.
Okay.
No, I did at some point. Like Sonya used crater, and like I think I finished like 1 or 2 kills at like 20 with
Okay.
March empowered with the big
Yeah.
sucky suck.
Oh, okay. And so, but it felt like there's a few times where you were on the objective and you were just like pushing the lane with a camp, and
Yep.
I was surprised. I was like, okay, they see the Leo top. This is a we need to just go in, and some
Yeah.
I guess like even at that point, I think you were even talents. I think it was still early when that happened. You got the top. This was I believe the second Punisher. You got the top with the camp, and then the second, and then the mid with the Punisher, and then you even rotated bottom after that. So you got 3 forts because of that one objective. So a lot of times I saw that you just went off in the off lane, and it turned out to be a 4v5. But after that second Punisher, it seemed like Souls and Slowmo were kind of back on XP, and it just becomes challenging. And again, especially with Lee Ming, Gray Main, it makes it very difficult to engage on that. But I mean, not much to say on top of that. You were just doing your thing, control the objectives, got an XP lead, and then you just had to win it at that point. And so you were able to kind of come up on top and show a very dominant showing in game 1. Let's go to game 2. I believe this was picked by
And we
Somo,
forget
right?
about that one.
No, we can. No, if we talk about the games,
Erase
you
it
do
from your
well.
mind. Like,
No, but I mean, it's also good to look at these games to see what you did wrong and what you can learn from that, right? And so they took you to Dragonshire. If I'm not,
obviously.
so they took you to Dragonshire. And so, what were your thoughts? Because I don't know. This is they picked Dragonshire. Obviously, says they're comfortable on that. And
Oh,
so,
definitely.
for the most part, all the picks were pretty much the same, right? We had the May, Johanna. I even said, okay, well, they gave up the Anduin, so that means the Anduin's going to be picked up a way to go right away. Q Anduin gets picked, and then everything was the same until the very end when we see a Butcher. So I was happy to see a Butcher. Why not, right? Last game of the season, let's have some fun. Butcher pick comes out. What were your team's thought when you see a Butcher?
I'll let you answer that one. Like, obviously, we were not like at first. We just started laughing and just like, that's not something that you see every day. But yeah, Shin.
You're gonna pass this off to Shiboku.
Yeah,
it's not something I'm particularly worried about. It's
usually.
Just, well, yeah, it's because first of all, you don't see it picked very often. So when someone does pick it, you kind of have to see like how well the team plays with the Butcher. Because a lot of the times, if the Butcher is not, cared for or nursed early in the game, like the Butcher is just basically a wasted hero by the end of the game. But it's also a kind of a tightrope walk with the controlling the points and having the team split. So I think that's where we're having a little bit of struggles juggling where the team is and always being cognizant of where Butcher might be with the team because they'll be looking for ganks early on. And I think just a little bit of maybe perhaps psychological warfare might be affected us a little bit in that game. But obviously we shook it off for game 3, so it wasn't a huge deal.
Yeah,
but it's a learning experience for us.
For the most part, you did well in Dragonshire, but once it got late, and again, that's when the penalty of dying is more punishing, right?
Absolutely.
And so there was a couple. I mean, you for the most part dealt with the Butcher rather well, but at the end, there was a couple times, and I kept saying to the match. I mean, you have Nazebo, and it's very hard to siege into a Nazebo. So even with some of the picks late, they couldn't really quite end. And then at the bottom, they were to get one pick. It actually was on Nazebo, and at that point, that kind of was like hey, we got the Nazebo. This is the one hero kind of stops us from being able to go into core. But overall, I think you did well. And I mean, again, being able to deal with a Butcher, again, I think when you meant Butcher needs to be taken care of, and we don't really see it. It's quick match Butcher, right? But we don't really tend to see it in competition that much, at least especially at this level, to my experience. Div East,
exactly.
D, C. I think I've seen it before in Div A and Nexus. And
like
such.
Ever in the season, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's something to check off on your bucket list of heroes you faced, right? So, with that, Solmo took us to game 3, and I believe this one was chosen by you, right? So we went to Cursed Hollow, and you chose Cursed Hollow. And coming out here, we see that as far as the picks, kind of a swap. We see May being picked up, and Stukov being picked, or Anduin being picked up on the side of Sozo and Slowmo, Johanna, and Stukov on your side. And so for the most part, we had like a swap of tank and healer. So everything was kind of normal. And then we see, was it the Hanzo? We saw the Zagara, and then we saw the Dahaka again on your side. You see an Asmo and a Nazeeba on their side. And so again, take us kind of what you thought was going to be their strategy here, because obviously when I see that, I'm like, okay, they're going to try and siege. They're going to try and just like they're going to ignore objectives. I even mentioned, is this going to be that this Asmo quick match where he just goes in a lane and just uses demonic invasion all the while everybody else is fighting?
In my opinion, I mean, that's my own point of view. I think they spent like way too much time in the bottom lane altogether and not getting any value with like the Zag freezing and everything.
Yeah.
Like that's unfortunate for them, but like that's only my point of view.
Yeah, I mean,
I
they had the
don't know if that
Zebo.
was really the case, but that's just what I felt like happened.
Yeah, and observing that match, we see the Nazebo and the Asmo bottom lane into Zagara. And I'm like, Zagara has decent push, but those are two, monsters that can siege. And so, however, you're able to hold up your own, especially early, right? Early is kind of difficult to get a lot of siege. Later on, maybe it would have been different. But yeah, I do agree. It seems like I understand maybe they were trying to get to a place where they can kind of push a lane in and rotate, push a lane in. And we did see them just not even contest any of the first two, and then you were able to secure the first curse, and then from there you're able to get the bottom fort, if I recall correctly. And from there on, it just seemed like, again, they were, I think, trying to catch up in XP and combination, push lanes out. And for the most part, it kind of seemed that was the same kind of mentality or situation going on in the match, where they're trying to get XP back, catch up, but they weren't really. I think they only got one channel the whole time, and you were able to secure like 8 right before the boss, the very end. And so, kind of fast forward, because for the most part, that's how the match went. There was a lot of just pushing on their side, trying to secure. Asmo was able to get a keep late by throwing his demonic invasion on it, and so countering the pressure from your side. Let's take us to towards the very end, where you're making that boss call. And so, what was the comms as far as the decision there? Because we see them, they're there, and I didn't quite see if you had got vision of them or not. But either way, that's a risky call, right? Because unless you feel 100% sure that they're not going to be there or able to stop you, that can be a potential throw pit, and they already had the win condition as well. So, what made you confident about making that boss call at the end? Which by the way, I think was a good, but it's still, you have to kind of.
Yeah, it was really risky, and we acknowledged it. Like my first reaction to it was like, what does May cooldown on Avalanche? Because I wasn't sure if I think she used it like only a couple of seconds ago. I mean, not too long ago. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be back up like for the boss. So that was like my first concern. So if we all committed to it, like very fast, like I think we had the better clear, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. It was like, just focus it, do it as fast as possible. Like I know the team was not all there. It was like, Delka, go start the boss, go start the boss, go start the boss, and then they kind of showed nearby. Luckily enough, they did not invade.
Yeah,
but I think
it was level
one of their goals.
I was gonna say it was level 22, so I didn't mention it. You're able to burn this rather quickly. So if they had to respond, they had to be literally right there when you started it, because you burned through that so quickly. But after that,
oh my!
I mean, it was like I did say it was like a catch-22 for them. It's like, do they try to defend the curse, or do they try to defend the boss?
Because if we got both, like, it would have been like game. If we got boss and they ignored the boss, it would have been game, which actually happened. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what I thought. Like, okay,
they kind of ignored it, but not so much.
They got some kills, and so I'm like, okay, they're gonna go back and deal with this. I'm like, okay, Nasibo and Asmodan, they have it, and then I go back to see what was trying to happen. And then I look at the corner of my eye. I'm like, wait, it's not okay. There's still. I got back to it just at the very end when it was like 30%. I'm like, wait, this is not okay.
Shin actually he poked you poked them like last second, and Anduin
Yeah,
was backing even, and we canceled this back, and it was just like, what?
yeah. Oh, I mean, they got the two main siegers, which is Asmodan and Nazebo. They got away rather quickly, and I mean, I don't know how much Andy was going to help, but yeah, a level was a 21 minute boss. Does quite a bit to an open core. So and then with the
Yeah,
bottom, so kind of sort of a Winions situation for your team,
that was that
but
was also something we were stressed out about, like the fact that the boss was close to our core, like very close to our
yeah,
core, and there was no keep. So it was either like they got the boss and like some kills on us, or we got it and yeah, like could have been going both ways actually.
yeah,
So
and so fortunately you were able to pick up that boss real quickly. Kind of even with a couple picks came on your side, still able to secure um, game three. So again, congrats on a very successful season. How does your team feel moving on, going
we don't
to
know actually. We're
the
like we
playoffs?
don't know if you're gonna win like this next domination. Obviously, we wish we could have gotten like a domination tonight. But we're gonna take the wins like where there is. Um but yeah, we're really excited to see who's gonna take first, if it's gonna be you, or us, or like it depends. Like it all relies on that last match, and we will definitely be tuning in for that one. Well, we're definitely hype and relieved after these games. I mean, that last game at least.
Yeah, it's rather, especially with Souls and Slomo being able to put up a fight second match, and then again, even as game three, again, bosses throw pits,
I
right?
mean, that map was one of my like I was kind of stressed out about the map. Uh Not like a map that we have a record on it, and it's not a map that they have a record on it. So it was just like getting there like blindsided and be like, okay, we're gonna play it as much as we can, as best as we can, and
Well,
with
it
the best
worked,
of our
but it worked
abilities.
out. And as far as standings, like I always tell everybody, what I've learned over the seasons or over the years is that standings don't really mean much. I've seen number one seeds fall to number eight seeds quite often, and low seeds went to high seeds. So I think seeding doesn't really matter now. Like the real games begin right in playoffs. So again, best of luck to you in
Thank
the
you.
playoffs, and we'll see how everything ends up after this week. We still have quite a few matches. I think with yesterday, 30 Seconds to Mars getting a domination over Phoenix
Yep.
Rising, so they were able to move up to 19 points. But with this puts you 2 points ahead of them, and so we'll see how everything rounds
Goes on your
out.
side.
How everything rounds out these last two matches or last few matches of the Division E East. But again, with that, I'll leave it open for any shout outs or anything. I know you want to go celebrate with your team, so I don't want to.
I'll let Shin start off the open mic.
Uh, yeah, just first of all, thank you for picking up our cast last minute. I know that you probably didn't even think you were gonna make it on time, but because I saw your messages that you were coming home from work. But it's always nice to see your games being casted. It's always nice to watch the replays later. Thanks to Souls and Slowmo for a great best of three series.
Tiny
Made
exploding
us
bit.
Yeah, made us work for it. But also thank you for letting me play Junkrat the first game. Extended love to y'all.
Oh,
Um, all the supporters for ICC in general, especially
ICC
for the nice,
fam.
yeah, just supporting us throughout the season. Shout out to the ICC team, ICCK team. Uh, we come a long way, and traditionally I've seen the bottom of the barrel for the most past couple seasons, so it's nice to kind of rise to the top a little bit. So I'm gonna enjoy it while I can. And yeah, thanks to NGS for organizing everything, and I'll be ready for the playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, I wanna shout out as well to you and to actually everybody that has been like helpful to me and my personal growth. I want to thank two people in particular, like Corey Corey, thanks. I mean, no, sorry, it's Corey. Corey, thanks for the scouting. It's really amazing. The help that you're giving me while doing it. It's really great to have someone, a sidekick, to help me with that. And shout out to Credit, best person ever. Lol, lol, lol.
All right. So with that, again, congrats, and I'll let you join your team to celebrate this win. So hopefully we'll maybe see you in the playoffs. We'll see how it goes, right?
Thanksies.
All right. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good night. Okay, so with that wraps up the stream for tonight. Again, thank you for all of those who followed today. I think I missed Sir Alan, Sarah Lath, and Malfrix. Thanks for joining us. And I'll be looking forward to do a few more casts before the end of the season, and also looking forward to do some of the list, at least the best of 3 playoff, and see if I'm able to pick up some of those. But again, thanks for joining me this evening, and I'll see you next time.